Hey guys, it's Jason here at Iowa City Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and today we're going to show you how to tie your Jiu-Jitsu belt. There's many different ways to tie your Jiu-Jitsu belt. I can go over 3 of them today. To start with, we're going to find the middle of our belt by folding the belt in half. I put the 2 ends of the belt tails together. I can milk the belt all the way down, and I find the middle of the belt. There's the bite right there. Okay. Hold that. Get your jacket squared away. Okay. And now, holding it closed with your wrist right here, just open up your belt right underneath your belly button. Okay. This is worn down low on the hips. Take your belt behind your back and change hands. Bring it back to the front. Okay. Tail in each hand. You're going to cross it. Now, I'm putting the left tail over the right tail, pulling it up through and pulling it tight. Okay. When I do this, one of these tails is on top and one is kind of coming out on the bottom. I always take the one that's on top and I lay it flat against the other hip. Now there's a little loop right here that my hand can fit through. I'm going to take the opposite tail and just drop it down through that hole. Pulling the tails out to the side and giving a little tug to make it tight, I've tied a square knot. And if I've done it correctly, the tails are coming out to the side, and they're, for the most part, even right in front of me. So we find the middle of our belt again. There's the middle of my belt. I'm going to fold my lapels, crossing the left over the right. Okay. Bring my belt back around to the front. And now, again, I cross my belt tails the same way I cross my jacket. The left goes over the right. Okay. But now, instead of just coming up through this hole right here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the top tail, or the one that was in my left hand, okay, I'm going to pull it up through the wrap that was originally around my, or the first wrap that went around my waist. And now the tail that's in my right hand is on top, the one that's in my left hand is on bottom. I take the tail that's on top, I lay it against my left hip and hold it there. I reach across and drop the other tail down through the hole. Pull out to the side. Okay, I have a square knot with pretty even tails right in front of me. Now, when you wrap it like this, it's going to stay tied a little bit longer. Okay. This is the way that I prefer to tie my belt, is with the mummy wrap. So, instead of finding the middle of my belt, I find the end of my belt, cross my gi over. I like to go and hold it against my left hip because it helps me hold the jacket closed as I wrap around it. Because it comes this way. Bring it around and back and cover that first little end of the belt tail right there. See, this is where my belt tail is, hanging out right there. I'm going to wrap it, and I'm going to go right over the first wrap that went around me. So I'm stacking my wraps now. Now, I come over to my right hip and pull it up through. I'm going to reach back over on my left hip. I'm going to pull that tail out from underneath everything and bring it all the way back over to where I'm going to tie my knot, or where my knot is forming over here, I should say. Now, this can kind of hold itself closed for just a little bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this over to the middle. And finish tying my knot from here. How do you finish tying your knot is up to you. You could finish with what we've done already. We're kind of in the middle of doing the security wrap. So I can just finish tying my square knot right here, no problem. Or I could add in a little bit more security and add in what we call the lockdown. Now there's a lockdown and there's a double lockdown. So the lockdown or the single lockdown is to take, again, always taking the tail that's on top, crossing it over to the left. Now I'm going to tuck that tail in between the inner and outer wrap. Pull it not all the way tight, there's still some room right there. Okay, little loop. Reach over and take my other tail, drop it down through the hole. That is your single lockdown. It's fast and it's more secure, but it's not the most secure. The most secure would be the double lockdown. So to show you the double lockdown, I'm just going to back this out a little bit so I have a little room. And instead of just dropping this through the hole and letting it be, I'm going to tuck this in between the inner and outer wrap as well. So after I pass through the loop, before I pull it all the way out, I tuck it in between the inner and outer wrap. You're trying to tie a square knot, and a square knot, when it's done correctly, the knot tails, okay, or the ends of your belt come out to the side. If you tie it wrong, you're going to do the wrong sort of crossing over maneuver, and you're going to get vertical tails. So you have a tail coming straight down and a tail going straight up. This is a granny knot, okay, and it looks ridiculous. It's not a very good knot for staying tied for a long time, and it shows that you don't have tying your jiu-jitsu belt mastered yet. And what we want is to take pride in how we present ourselves in the academy and in competition. So we want to look sharp and look good and look like we know what we're doing. So practice tying your belt and make sure you can tie that square knot the right way. You take your belt home with you every night, and you take your jiu-jitsu gi home with you every night. You can practice putting your gi top on and tying your belt over and over again when you have some time around the house, okay? So thanks for watching the video, guys. Keep practicing, tie those knots, get good square knots with even tails, look sharp, and we'll see you next time here in class.